hospitality industry has evolved a long way from the moment I started.
Yeah.
At that time, it was more about elegance, right? Today, yes, but then do you make money?
Yeah.
Are you making profit? How much money do you have in the bank? Is your hotel somewhere visible among the positioning?
Yeah.
Important. Right? So these two brands really shaped the way I think about hospitality, and they were great. The training were great, right? So that's how I think hospitality should be at that time. These days, I once told them that the old school hospitality is perhaps nearly extinct. What is the old hospitality? Old school hospitality is engaging with guests, giving them, wowing them, to keep you always entertained during breakfast. We have different rotations of wow-crafted moments for you. I think this is where Pak Anton and Ibu Valen are really helping us. Both of them empowered us and give us the freedom to provide you, our guests, crafted moments. I think we need to highlight those. And guests from TUI are mostly German and Europeans, and their demography as such, they will appreciate it.
They do.
Right, so we are trying to do that. In fact, today is our first day to bring our guests to nearby Banjar and to see the preparation of Ogo Ogo.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Geonet Properties podcast. As always, we take these podcasts very, very seriously. And when we have an amazing reason to bring you some more content, we get an opportunity to invite somebody who's very, very key to your investment journey. We take full advantage of it. And today we see ourselves actually in the presidential suite of the Luke Hotel, the TUI Blue Berawa Hotel, which is now open. And who have we got? Mr. Dino Antonio, the new GM.
Thank you.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you for having me, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. So, I mean, for us, this is a privilege. I represent, as we all know, the Geonet investors. But today we're going to discuss a few things that have become, obviously very, very important to our investors' investment journey, as well as their what they can experience here, what the world experiences here, and how you sprinkle your flavor of and I've made some notes here, old school versus new school hospitality,
right?
Which is a beautiful topic that I want to jump into. We're going to jump into empowerment within hospitality and what that means for you, and how that relationship and how that conversation that we've just had actually came about. I also want to dabble in the heritage menu, because I feel that when we're in a hotel that prioritizes personalization, I would like to have that conversation again with you very, very quickly. And a key word: cognac omelets. But let's go first of all, Dino, you're a 25-year plus veteran of the hospitality industry. Give me a little bit about what got you involved in hospitality.
I think at first it was always about what you were exposed when you were a kid. Right. So I think we grew up in a normal, regular neighborhood, but our neighbor was... I think she was a GM of a hotel somewhere in Jakarta, right?
Yeah.
And one day he invited us to have a weekend at his hotel. So that's how we got interested in hotels.
Wow. So you had somebody that was close to the family who was, as a child, you walked into a big hotel and your neighbor sits at the top of it.
Yes. I think
very impressionable moment for you.
Correct. He gave us a big hamburger to us at that time back in the 80s. That was awesome, right? Being an Indonesian kid, and you don't see hamburger every day.
Yeah.
But at that time, so yes, that's it. I want to be a cook.
Wow. So it was cook, and how did you, because some of our viewers may not be aware, there's many different sort of avenues into the hospitality industry, into the hotel industry. I happen to be part of a hospitality academy up in Ubud, where we put many of our orphans as well as children and the children that come straight out of high school into hospitality college,
Right.
and they can go down different avenues. It might be housekeeping, it might be front of house. And discuss with me how you made your selection, obviously, into your avenue to the top, because you're now at the top of the game, but there was a division of the hotel that you came up through.
Right. I started as a baker.
Wow.
And then from there, and then there was...
So that was food preparation, right?
Yeah,
It's food prep.
Bakery. Mostly bakery. But then at that time, that was just a casual work. And then there was a vacancy for a permanent job at the Jakarta Hilton at that time. So I applied as a housekeeping room attendant. That's how it started.
After being in bakery, you went into housekeeping just to be part of the Hilton brand.
Correct.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's how it started.
Wow. And so I mentioned that you're a 25-year veteran, but how soon do you go from being a house room cleaning attendant in housekeeping to becoming top of or running a brand new hotel?
I think, I can't remember, I started in 92 and I became a manager somewhere in 94. But I think...
94, so we're talking much more than 25 years now.
A manager meaning a departmental manager,
right,
rather than a hotel manager. I became hotel manager in 2000. So, but I think...
so hang on, I got this entirely wrong. You've not just been in for 25 years, you've been in for longer than 30 years.
I started in 92.
Goodness me, I'm sorry. I didn't get that part of your bio. Wonderful.
Yeah. So it was not that difficult during my time, as long as you speak English. Yes, a bit of French maybe. Yeah, okay. Touch of this, touch of that, and people get impressed. And you play piano a little bit when you're doing something.
Look at you go! Look at you go!
And that's how I got here. Actually, I'm not too sure how I got here today, but more or less being prepared. If you are prepared, I think you can always go anywhere else.
Hard work goes a long way.
Right.
Yeah. But you obviously had more ambition to keep pushing to the next level, or were you always pushed from within?
I think I got...
Did you feel you had that belief that you could take your career to another level consistently for 30 years?
I just happened to have the right managers with me. Right, people who believed in what I do or how I worked, and as I mentioned earlier, being prepared is very important. So when the opportunity does come, right, then you are prepared. I think during my time at that time, language was key.
Yes.
Right. Today
it's still key, I think.
Today is still key, but that today I think hospitality has shifted more into revenues, more into visibilities. Right. So you need to learn how to do this. How to make the hotel more profitable. Yeah, these are the type of skills that we have to learn being a hotelier.
Yeah,
long time ago, you could be a hotel GM if you know how to cook, you know how to make cocktails and all that, right?
Right.
More romantic. Today, more practical.
Different. Right. So it is, as an industry or as a profession, it has consistently leveled up in sophistication.
Yes. Hospitality industry has evolved a long way from the moment I started.
Yeah.
At that time, it was more about elegance, right? Today, yes. But then, do you make money?
Yeah.
Are you making profit? How much money do you have in the bank? Mm-hmm. Is your hotel somewhere visible? Yeah. Among positioning is very important to us, right?
Position, right?
True. So that determines how much rate you can trust if you have a better position.
Yeah. So this ties beautifully and dovetails beautifully into the reason why we're here today. It would be lovely to have a hotel that is elegant and everybody feels like it's special, but I speak from those who have financed it, as well as the main financiers of this property, who are your personal friends, Mr. Anton Hillman and his wife Valencia.
Yeah.
Now, you've known them for quite
2 to
3 years. Yeah. I want to backtrack a little bit. Before you met them, what were your favorite brand experiences amongst your history when it comes to satisfaction?
I think I started with a very good hotel at the Jakarta Hilton, with a Hilton company, Hilton Hotels. And then I moved to Hyatt, the Grand Hyatt Jakarta.
Grand Hyatt.
So these two brands.
I've been there.
Yeah, you know the one in the center of the city, yeah? Near the roundabout.
Yes.
Right. So these two brands really shaped the way I think about hospitality, and they were great. The training were great, right? So that's how I think hospitality should be at that time, right? Today, of course, today owners are much more involved. Investment questions are there now. Not like long time ago. As long as you have a good brand, you're sure you get a guest. Today, not necessarily.
Wow.
You need to differentiate yourself. Your brand is something, of course, but how you bring the brand to the customers, how you position your hotel with that brand, among others, among competitors, set the rates.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You set your selling rates.
Yeah. So you've got a very, very special appointment here as GM of the first TUI Blue branded hotel in Indonesia.
Right.
And you have also, you spoke to me earlier about how passionate the ownership is here.
Right.
We're talking just quickly there about Anton and Ivo Valencia and his wife. Their passion brought you into this more than anything else. But I can imagine that with their passion and this incredible first opportunity to be involved as GM with TUI Blue brought with it some very exciting opportunities for you. What do you see your exciting opportunities here?
Okay. I think, firstly, to understand our owners, in this case, Pak Anton and Ibu Valen, their approach when they were about to build this hotel was they are customers. They are looking from the way point of view of customers.
Yeah.
They've traveled the world. They've been to so many hotels, right? So they have this idea. I would like to have a hotel with this kind of services, this kind of products.
Yeah.
Because I'm a customer and this is what I would like to see if I pay certain rates, right? So that's the first point of view. Of course, being investor comes the questions, how much to build that kind of hotel, for example, right? So I really take note of their point of view as customers, and because this is where I would like to come in, and I actually gave the idea to the owners how to differentiate ourselves among others. I think these days I once told them that the old school hospitality is perhaps nearly extinct. What is the old hospitality? Old school hospitality is engaging with guests, giving them, wowing them, right?
The wow moments.
The wow moment.
I just personally witnessed the wow moment.
Correct.
I seriously, I'm going to break out of the podcast a little bit out here because we're here on a Thursday morning. And Thursday morning, I've met you and I've spoken to many of the employees here already. But I was able to witness some of these wow moments just over the breakfast service.
Correct.
Lean me into what happens that's different just on a breakfast menu or breakfast service.
Right. Oh, well, I think breakfast is very important, especially if you are in Canggu.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, here in Canggu, you stay in Canggu because you know there are places to hang out in the evening.
Yeah.
And perhaps you go a bit too late in the evening and you wake up in your own terms. Right?
Right.
So we believe that being flexible is key. So we have this one product that we have, which is late riser breakfast. You can have breakfast anytime you want.
I like
you
that.
can wake up anytime you want, and you still have breakfast. Doesn't matter.
Great. You don't have to be there by 8 o'clock or finish by 10.
Exactly.
That's
You don't have to be at any time at all. Just let us know. Come down, and we'll have breakfast. Definitely. First thing in the morning, coffee for you.
Yeah.
Right. After that, what would you like to have?
Yeah.
Right.
So even if it's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I haven't had my breakfast yet. I haven't missed breakfast. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah. Sure. So that's one. And that to keep you always entertained during breakfast, we have different rotations of wow crafted moments for you. I think this is where Anton and Ibu Valen are really helping us. Both of them empowered us and give us the freedom to provide you, our guests, crafted moments during breakfast in particular. Because we believe that breakfast is very important. And in many hotels today, breakfast is still important, but are those breakfasts at somewhere else bring you a lasting memory with like that?
Correct. They're missing a very, very important opportunity to make a signature impression.
Right. We believe that in the morning is the right time to either speak to you or wow you, right? Don't leave you alone, but at least I give you some crafted moments.
Yeah.
So
I experienced a crafted moment this morning.
Right.
I got an Eggs Benedict gelato. Not an ice cream Eggs Benedict by any means, but what I witnessed was amazing. I will actually post it. But I spoke to some of the guests down there. I didn't impose myself on them, but I just saw many smiles of there were wow moments happening. Yeah. And I've never experienced that. I believe I'm a very well-traveled person as well. I've obviously sat in many hotel breakfasts. Some I've liked, some I've not liked. But I've never seen a chef moment in front of a client or in front of a guest in the breakfast time and impress with culinary specialties, signatures. And while I was witnessing that, you and I were talking about the empowerment and the freedom that you get.
Yes.
But I was also we touched on a subject that was more about the staff buy-in.
Correct.
This is important.
Very, very important.
Can you explain how you've gone and done that?
Right. When I first encountered Anton and Valen, right, it was not that difficult for me to sell the idea of creating moments for our guests, right? But when you try to sell this idea to your own staff, then comes the question like, why do we have to do that? Normally we have buffet. Everywhere else is buffet. I come from a hotel with a buffet set up in the breakfast.
Yeah.
There's always that. I'm not saying it's resistance, but they also have their own ideas. But once again, we need to take them, stand here from the guest point of view.
True.
Right? As you witnessed today, there was this couple that we just came first time in Bali.
Yeah.
Right? And it was really important for us to wow them, give them an impression.
Yeah.
This is Bali, this is hospitality. Maybe everywhere else this is the same, but we notice you are first time.
Very interesting, right? This couple, because I did actually, I asked them a couple of questions. I think I took 2 minutes out of their breakfast, but I knew that they were, just by listening to them, I knew that they were from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And they corrected me, they weren't from Switzerland, they were from Basel, which is a 3-minute walk from Switzerland. But from that perspective, the hospitality industry trains like a military production unit in Switzerland.
Correct.
Right. So they will have been exposed to the very top and the very elite. Yet I saw joy in their faces when they were being indulged in this very private service moment. With your staff. And that does take this buy-in to a whole new level. And I hear you, why would we do this? Why would we do this? It's always buffet, la 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 la. But when you have a pride in what you do and you get to perform for personal joy, because I believe at that point you don't get paid better. You don't get paid better, but what you do is you have a level of pride in your work. This is your signature, and I think you're so well matched into this business with Valencia and with Anton and with our investors. And now you have the TUI Blue juggernaut behind you. Are they very much a part of this type of empowerment opportunity for you and your guests?
I think so. I think they do appreciate. We had them last week for early this week, and we discussed with them. We showcased them how we do things. And in fact, they experienced it firsthand, right?
Right.
And of course, again, there were wows. The reason why we talk to them and show them what we do is because TUI, as a travel agent, hospitality player, one of the biggest in the world, at the moment, we are asking them to provide us with guests, of course. Right? And this is the reason why we join them, because they are so big. They have their own guests, their own customers. Yeah. And at the moment, if you notice, in Canggu, mostly we have an average length stay of 3 nights.
Average stay of 3 nights.
Yes, 3 nights, 4 nights sometimes. Yeah, right. For hotels, I'm not talking villas.
Yeah,
3 nights to 4 nights. So we discussed with TUI how we can have more than just 3 nights. Yes. Because we know their guests stay about 2 weeks in Bali, right?
Yes.
Spend 3 nights here and then some other nights somewhere else. So how can we actually now increase to 2 nights? So that question come back to me is, how are you going to entertain them for the next 2 nights? Yeah, right. So we discuss. These are one of the things that what we had this morning. Yep. One of those crafted moments. But I think if you notice, Canggu, just like anywhere else in Bali, there are so many cultural things that we can explore.
Right. But that's not part of the usual itinerary if you're coming to stay in Canggu.
Correct.
And therefore, and I've known this for a long time. Growing up in Germany, I know the TUI group as a brand. It's a cultural immersion opportunity, and it's a cultural immersion opportunity missed if you don't come to Berawa and you don't have those activities. Exactly. So I know now, you discussed with me a little bit about that. You've now gone and allocated opportunities for your guests to visit temples, visit the Banjar, which is the Balinese community, and their rich heritage and their rich cultural activities. That's beautiful.
Yes, I think we need to highlight those. And guests from TUI are mostly German and Europeans, and their demography as such, they will appreciate it.
They do.
Right, so we are trying to do that. In fact, today is our first day to bring our guests to nearby Banjar and to see the preparation of ogo. I don't know how to...
For those who don't know, the ogo, there is a very, very sacred celebration here, which is a silent celebration. It's called Nyepi. During or before Nyepi, which is a 2-day silence celebration, there is a week of activity where they really artistically, they produce the mythical creatures of the Balinese spirituality.
Yes.
And then it becomes a parade, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And the level of artistry in every Banjar is incredible. So being part of that, I would like to actually join that.
Yes.
If I can. I'm gonna hijack one of the cars.
Let us know.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
So key metrics of your performance as a hotel. How was that? I know, let's go into some of the key metrics that judge your performance. What are they?
What Anton, Valen, and I discussed is very important to have certain KPIs, the key performance indicators. Number one is our positioning must be as such that we can dictate a certain rates.
Great.
Right? We believe that with the services, with the products, and TUI as a brand, we can position ourselves in Canggu or in Berawa as such. Yeah, we can actually now dictate the rates.
Yes.
Not really dictate, but place our rates that is acceptable by my guests. Yeah, right. Vary for money.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Very important to have a good rates. Right. We have our pricing strategy based on our inventory, based on the room types. I think you'll see that we'll have a very different strategy coming into April and May. Wow. Yes, I'll share with you later. Yeah. But then again, rates is number one.
Yeah.
Because with the rates, that comes the profitability, of course. Rooms as a product doesn't require much expenses. Unlike F&B, you have cost of service. Yes. When you run rooms, hotel rooms, you don't have cost of service. You have expenses, such as the soap, such as...
Right.
Okay. All the amenities, right? But unlike F&B, those expenses are very, how can I say, I'm not saying small, but the profitability of rooms is about 78 to 80%. Whereby in F&B, one nasi goreng, I'll charge you 150,000 rupiah. I might get only about 45-50% of it.
Yeah.
But so rooms are very profitable. So this is where we want to go.
We like to hear that rooms are very profitable. That's what I like to hear.
Yes, because of the expenses. There's no cost of sales. And so say expenses. So that if you have a very high rate, right, then you have a very good profit margin for each room, right?
Yes.
But then again, you need to have volume too.
Yeah.
Therefore, the different room types.
Yeah.
Right. So we have entry-level room types. This is where we think, okay, you can sell at this kind of rate, then you expect volume.
Right.
Right. And higher category of room types, then you expect average room rate.
Yes.
For example, right? And a good mix of that comes an average room rate.
Right.
With a good mix of occupancy.
Yes. Occupancy-wise, I think you're positioned to do very, very well here. Would you agree?
I would say yes. Seasonal though. Seasonal, right? Okay. This is very testing period, January, February, March, right?
Especially in your opening stay.
Correct,
right.
Correct.
So this is always for those watching when a hotel becomes operational, there is a lead in for at least maybe 6 months where you're not just feeling the area, but you're also feeling the rates that will stick, and they're also establishing what has already been very, very promising to see. Incredible reviews.
Correct.
5-star reviews are pouring in. Thanks to you and your team buying in.
Yes. Yeah.
Buying into these performance opportunities. I call them performance opportunities. To you, it is everything that you've taken from the old school into the new school. Correct. Of being not only very highly profitable, but highly tailored in your relationship and in your, I guess, your dedication and commitment to great hospitality. So this is becoming, for our investors, just beautiful to see that there is, we've invested into a hotel that's got personality, it's got soul. Every part of it, every property detail has been selected with both of those from Ibu Valen and her team and Pagapon. And we now have some highly passionate investors that are faceless here. But hopefully you look at me and say, right, we appreciate you as well, because they will be coming and using their villas as well.
Yeah.
And so this is something that I love. We're now sitting in the presidential suite, which is a totally new concept for Canggu.
Correct.
I just want you to give me a quick, brief explanation of what does a presidential experience feel like?
Yeah. The presidential suite is actually 486 square meters. I think half of it is indoor, the other half is outdoor.
Right.
So the idea is that you're not going to just stay in the rooms here. There are 3 bedrooms, but once you stay here, we'll have our chef cooking for you privately.
Nice.
Lunch, dinner. That is included already in your room rates, for example. And the outdoor area can actually accommodate up to 60, 70 people. So
it's not necessarily something you've got three bedrooms, 6 people.
Yeah.
No, have a party.
Have a party. That's the whole idea. You stay with us, have a party. The hotel, TUI Blue Berawa, is a very F&B focused hotel.
Yeah.
Everything that we do is very F&B related, right? So if you stay here, or even at the villa, right? You stay in the villa, we'll have Chef Salih cook for you. We have Chef Gabriel who's running Gaps.
Oh, right? Chef Gab, all of our staff here know Gab as well, yeah.
So he's going to cook for you too.
He's amazing.
Absolutely. And then there outside at the presidential suite, we will set up your own bar. We'll stock it up with your favorite drinks, right? So you can invite friends, and we'll have the bartenders mix the drinks for you. So this is all included. So the idea of this presidential suite is not for sleeping.
Yes, okay.
The idea is to have fun, be together with your friends before you go somewhere else, for example. Next day, you wake up late, we have our chef ready for you. Cook breakfast here. No need to go down.
No need to go down.
Similarly with the villa.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. So that is also something that we find not only fun to sell because it is so unique. You have you and this entire incredible team that are willing to extend it into the villa experience. A villa experience is not only a very, very personal experience, but it's a highly profitable.
Oh yeah,
Highly profitable.
correct.
The investment into a villa within the TUI Blue facility here is highly profitable, and it's very, very, how do you say, it's exclusive.
Well, yes. If you own a villa here, you're not just owning a villa, basically, right? What we will do is to make sure that your investment here is well known, well reputable, right? As you mentioned earlier, we have good ratings on the internet.
Yeah.
Right. That I will make sure, right? Because as an owner, you want to have something that is, hey, I have something good and something very nice.
Yeah.
And reputable food.
Yeah.
That's one. The other thing is that once you own a villa here or a part of the hotel here, you have all the facility, access to all facilities here, which is maybe other hotels have that too. But then again, the experience we offer here is different,
Very different.
right? And I'd like to meet your investors and
I
them
am
personally,
grateful.
right? And explain to them, what they have and what we can offer, really. If you have time, let us.
All right, you heard it. You heard it. So a personal invite to meet you would be wonderful, and I know they're going to be very excited to know who you are. You represent all of us. Now, I just want to close with one story because this has impressed me. Cognac omelets. What the hell is a cognac omelet?
Omelette cognac.
Can we start at the beginning of that story?
Right. So there was this one particular guest, a lady guest. She was alone and she just come back from Ubud and then asked our team, "Can I have a cognac omelette tomorrow morning?" So we were like all puzzled. In my years of working in a hotel, I never heard of omelette cognac. So we look into the internet looking for recipe, couldn't find any.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, me and the chef, Chef Salim just now. So we tried, I don't know how many eggs we tried, how many omelets we had. So we put in, finally we put in the truffle oil and some mushroom and then a bit of brandy.
Yeah.
Next morning we served to the guest. Her name was Paula, by the way. And she was ecstatic, very happy about it, right? She went back home and started sending Instagram posts about it, right?
Did she?
She did. She's actually a Miss Barcelona.
That was Miss Barcelona.
Miss Barcelona 2024, right?
Okay, and just quickly, did she even know what a cognac omelette was? Or
I did not.
was she just being a difficult...
No, I don't think so. I'm sure she had an experience of this kind of omelette somewhere.
And yet she loved what you served.
Yes, and then she posted
My
Instagram.
God, well, that would have been a proud moment for you and Salim.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we asked her if she don't mind if we name the omelette de Paula.
Fantastic.
So
that's on the menu now.
it's on the menu, and of course every guest asking what is omelette de Paula. Right? So then we come up with the story again, and everybody was like, right. But then again, we tried to somehow. I'll give you a story. A couple who were actually our first guests who stepped into the hotel. We also named them as our cocktail.
What cocktail is it?
The Iron Cocktail. So we are inviting them to come over again because it's their anniversary this June. So yeah, those little touches, those little moments that we create.
This is a labor of love. You can't necessarily have this type of intensity or this type of joy in your work if you've let go of how personal you can make it. I can't imagine anybody in your position that doesn't go to these but to these personalized attempts to make something special that their joy is in the job. Your joy is still here. Your joy is in imparting this to your clients. You're very impressive.
Thank you.
You really are, and it goes to show that our investors here have had the best of the best, from furnishings to software to service to location to consideration to management to general manager to housekeeping to the kitchens to the service, and everything has been to replicate the best of hospitality.
We try. Still,
and the reviews are reflecting that.
okay.
So from all of our investors, our money is in your hands and being managed very, very well. And we really look forward to great returns. From the bottom of my heart, from Geonet and from all of our investors. And for those of you that might be considering to invest in the Luke and in the TUI Blue Berawa, we still have villas and maybe 1 or 2 hotel room options. We have fractions that started from as low as $35,000 in the hotels, in the hotel rooms. Hopefully, by the time this is published, there will still be some left. But you can still invest in the villas themselves. We have 10 more villas coming along.
All right.
We're excited about giving those out to our investors and to being involved in this. And I get great feedback from our podcasts with you and the team from TUI Blue. So thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you. Really, really honoured. And please, as our investors, come and say hi to Dino's team. We'll look after you, and maybe you'll get a cocktail or an omelette named after you as well. But thank you again for joining us. This is a real pleasure, part of my existence here at Geonet, and we hope to bring you far more content going forward. Come and inquire. Come and stay. Like, book. We're available. We're open, baby. This is an incredible hotel, another labour of love, and also a labour of profitability, brought to you by Geonet Properties and the team at Baraa International and TUI Blue Berawa. Like, comment, and subscribe. We look forward to hosting you here in Bali soon.